This is Taking It to the Nub with Shirtless Mike.
And Boston Jimmie.
The show where we start slow and watch it grow.
What are you smoking tonight, Mike?
I'm going to be smoking an Aqua Teen.
Holy crap.
And guess what? It's the same thing Boston Jimmie's smoking.
And this was not planned. I was sitting here with this ready to go tonight, and he whips this thing out, and he goes, look what I'm going to smoke tonight. And I'm like going.
And I realized it was the same exact one.
Read my mind, man. Roma Craft Aquitaine. We have got a great show tonight. Sitting in the green room right now is a man I've spoken to last year. We contacted and had a nice discussion. I did a little article about him and what he's doing. Named Kareem Fort. He is a film producer in LA, famous for producing a film called Demo. It's all about the hip hop culture. We're going to have Kareem talk a little bit about that, but he is actually now getting ready to put the final touches on a documentary film about the LA cigar scene. And it's supposedly be awesome. So without further ado, let me bring in Kareem here. Here's Kareem. How are you?
What's going on,
Good,
brother?
man. How are you?
Awesome.
Well,
what's up, Mike?
Not much, man. Just getting the cigar lit up and ready to go.
Man, I wish I was you right now.
Well, get out of that car and go find a place to smoke it, or just get some good spray to take care of the car.
Right.
How's the weather out in LA?
A little overcast today, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's still about. I got to be close to 65, something like that.
Not bad here. Yeah, very similar. Family good.
Everybody's good, man. Everybody's good. Yeah.
So you've been, since the last time we spoke, you've been all over the map.
Yeah.
Let's get right into a discussion. We can come back to the days of old with demos.
Yeah.
If people have seen that previous video and might have read the article.
Right.
Since we talked, you were building this new production called Smoke Big.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell everybody what's going on now. How important that is to you.
Man, it's really important to me. I mean, I'm a cigar guy, just like you guys are. I have a film background, as you mentioned, but I felt like there was this big hole in the marketplace. I know there's been a couple of documentaries done before about cigars, but I thought that we could put a different spin on it and create one that has some more entertaining elements to it, because, the film itself is about inspiration at the end of the day, right? A lot of people come to LA, or they move to LA from all over the country, all over the world, to find a place primarily in hip hop, or not even necessarily hip hop, but entertainment, right? So I said, well, why don't I just combine the two? Because there's a big culture out here in the cigar community that, they love cigars from all different walks of life. So I felt that it would be pretty cool to create something that would kind of capture LA cigar culture, but also give some advice to those that are looking for some type of inspiration to make it in whatever field that they're getting into. So for example, I interviewed Cedric the Entertainer. You know what I mean? Famous comedian. He loves cigars.
Oh yeah.
But he has a lot of knowledge about the business and how to become successful. Or I could have somebody like Matt Booth from Room 101, good friend of mine.
Boofy.
He has a different perspective, so there's all kinds of things that you're going to see in this film. I'm super proud of it. We're still in production. We got about one more month. So probably at the end of this month, we'll finish the interview portion and then we'll move into post, but it's going to be something special. And I cannot wait for you guys to see this, because the world has never seen anything like this before, where you get someone from like, let me throw out somebody random that's in the film. So think old school hip hop, Kid from Kid and Play. Nobody knows he's a cigar guy. So I'm
into hip hop, and I never knew that. So that's dope.
Okay. So I had a conversation with him on Sunset Boulevard in LA. So over a cigar. So there's some interesting stuff there. And then I can have, let's say, comedian Guy Torrey. You know, I'm sitting down with him as well. So there's a wide spectrum of things, man. And like I said, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's something that you've never seen before.
So when you started this, did you think it would be as easy to connect with these different celebrities that are cigar smokers?
Easy. I don't know if anything is in film would be considered easy, but I live in LA. And when you live in LA, you always know somebody who knows somebody.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those cities, man, where everybody's going to stop through here at some point. You know what I mean? If they weren't born and raised here. So it wasn't difficult at all. Really, the process has been fairly smooth. I'm working with some great people. Maisha from Sisters of the Leaf. I have my director, who's a first-time director, who's very talented. And you guys are going to be able to see his skills. And I'm working with a great DP as well. So I'm good. I have a great team around me. So the process has been great. You know, we're going to put out the trailer real soon. And matter of fact, I'll tell you this, we're going to put out the trailer in May. So you have the exclusive on that.
I'm going to love it. I'm
Nice.
going to love seeing that. So now you also went down, to Nicaragua?
Yeah, a few weeks ago, me and my team had the opportunity to go a little deeper into the culture because I didn't want to make this film a surface kind of thing and really make it all Hollywood, because it's not that at all. So, I mean, people from all around the world, including LA, smoke cigars from Nicaragua. So we went to Nicaragua and we interviewed a lot of people there that really do this. I mean, it's, you know, a family thing out there, generation after generation that are involved in that process. So we went to experience the whole process from pretty much seed to stick. You know what I mean? The whole process. So we were in everywhere from Condega to Jalapa, which is pretty much up top to where we kind of bordered Honduras, all the way down to Esteli.
So you went to various cigar factories and cigar farms and fields and processing facilities. What was your favorite one?
I met so many good people, like from the Beretta. Beretta is a cigar manufacturer who produces a great cigar that I just smoked last night called Don Chico. Very, very good cigar. I'm typically not a full body cigar type of guy, but this one worked. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, so many good people that really enjoy the process, you know, and I think that was kind of one of my takeaways. We visited one of the biggest tobacco fields in Nicaragua up in Jalapa, which was great. To really be in there and really put your hands in that soil, you know what I mean? So
I've been there. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, man, it's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it. So if you ever get a chance, I recommend definitely make the trip. It's worth it.
Going into that barn and smelling that leaf that's curing, that whole curing barn aroma.
Yeah.
Mike, you did that at the Barn Smoker.
Yeah, the Florida Barn Smoker.
Just you have to explain that to people that never had that experience, because sometimes when you smell that leaf on a cigar before you light it, it's like sometimes you get that curing barn aroma, and it just reminds you of it.
I mean, I never got that until we actually went to the Barn Smoker and I got to it. So, you know, you'll get that when you light it. You know, at first I was just like, I mean, I got it because, you know, you kind of told me a little bit, but then I experienced it for myself. So
does the film, how long is this film going to be?
I'm looking at 90 minutes right now.
All right. So feature length.
Yeah, it's definitely feature length. And I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Nicaragua, because people in LA, of course, like I said, from all over the world, smoke cigars from Nicaragua, right? So I thought it was important to really give an educational piece within the film, to have connoisseurs and really novices to really understand where these cigars come from, how they're made. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure. And then you bring that back. Obviously, you've hanging with Matt Booth,
Yeah,
and you're going into cigar shops and lounges in LA. Do you go into
yeah.
any clubs that are smoke friendly?
There's aren't too many clubs that are smoke friendly. I typically kind of just lean towards the lounges. You know what I mean? And we have a lot of great lounges out here in LA, man. I mean, anywhere from Debonair Cigar Lounge is a great lounge to go to. My personal home lounge is Second Street Cigar Lounge, downtown LA. You got LA Lounge. You got Smoke Kings. You know, there's so many great spots. You got Drobes. I mean, there's so many great spots out here, man. So I like to stick to the lounges.
So you feature a number of those in the film.
Absolutely, all of them. All of
Oh,
them. I feature
yeah.
I feature all of them because, like I said, there's a interesting community of people, man, out here that really enjoy this thing that haven't had any exposure at all. Nobody really knows about it. So I kind of took that upon myself to kind of shed some light on it. You know what I mean?
How'd you get started in doing film?
Ooh, well, I started with my first film demos. That concept to me came about 2011, something like that. And I was working at with my partner Kevin Nottingham, and we had started this independent record company. And I would kind of get hit up all the time about different artists and how they can get signed or whatever. And I was thinking like, man, there would be something. It would be cool if we had some kind of manual or something for these artists to buy or to reference on how to really make it on their own and not really rely on a major record company to get noticed, right? So I said, well, maybe I'll push it a little bit further and create a film about it. So instead of me talking about it, I can get people like DJ Quick or the guys from the Roots or all these people that were in my film to speak on it because they've had obviously success and not all of them have dealt with a major label. So I said, you know what, let's grab some cameras. I knew some guys who were talented in that way, and I put together the treatment and we just started shooting, and it ended up working out very well because again, when you have something that hasn't been done before and you know that there's a need in the market, you service that need. And so I tend to do that, and I'm doing that again with Smoke Big.
So have you ever seen this movie demos?
No, I haven't yet, but I will be checking that out.
So
Yeah, man, you'll
I
enjoy
actually
it.
used to rap back in the day.
he's old school.
Okay,
Yeah, I used to
okay.
rap. I used to do Christian rap, and then and then after I kind of stopped doing that, I was doing regular rap for a while. But I didn't really get like too big with it. Like when I did Christian rap, I did a lot of traveling. I was a part of a group called Deep Impact. We pretty much just traveled around Florida, and we opened up for Lecrae before Lecrae was selling out stadiums.
Wow.
And so, like, I mean, he was already big, but he was, he could sell out like a big, a decent sized crowd. But now he's like at the arena status. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a good opportunity. I mean, it was fun. Like, but then once I got to a certain age and point, I'm like, I didn't really, I just felt like, I got into cigars more and stuff, and I was like, that's more so my passion. I still got a
Yeah.
lot of friends that rap and do music and stuff. So yeah, it definitely was a fun time. And now the way that the things are shifting, you know, independence the way to go.
You know what? I think I hit the nail on the head, man, because everybody's independent now, right? So,
Yeah,
we're talking about, me coming up with this concept in 2011. And, I mean, I got everybody in it, man. Strange Music, I believe I featured them in it. They're like one of the biggest independent labels out there.
yeah. Now,
So,
now, did you feature Nipsey Hussle in that? And I'm pretty sure you had to.
you know what? I wanted to, but again, this was 2011,
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. So it was kind of on the cusp of him really trying to make some noise. So
yeah,
I've heard the name, but really wasn't too familiar. But I wish I had. I really did because
yeah,
he ended up doing some great things.
yeah.
But
And
yeah, if you get a moment, man, check it out and tell me
yeah,
what
yeah,
you think.
definitely, because I'm into that type of stuff, and it was sad for me, like because you know, I mean, I listen to some like older West Coast stuff, but like I don't really follow current stuff like that closely. So when the
Mhm.
whole Nipsey Hussle situation happened, and like I always heard the name, but I never really checked it out. But I started checking out his music after he passed away, and I
Yeah,
was just like, wow, like he was, you know, definitely ahead of his time for, you
100%.
know, for somebody at his age. Like he was, you know, a lot of people were saying like he's the next Pac or something.
Yeah, I mean, people, held him to a high regard out here. I mean, when he passed, it was a big, big blow to the city, man. LA's really been hit pretty hard, you know what I'm saying, over the
Yeah.
last year.
Oh
So
yeah.
with him and then obviously with Kobe Bryant, it's been hard on us, you know what I mean? But we'll pull through like we always do.
Definitely. You know, I'm always got my prayers going up for LA, so
Yeah,
that's where to go.
yeah.
So Jesse Flores, who I don't know if you know Jesse.
I
Jesse
do.
Flores. Yeah, so Jesse asked the question is when do we expect the documentary to drop?
We're looking at fall. Again, I'm trying to wrap this thing up. As far as the interview portion by the end of the month, and there's a couple of special guests that I'm trying to get, so I'm trying to make that happen. Don't want to give away nothing yet on that, but some people that are really near and dear to LA who happen to smoke cigars. So I'm trying to reach out to them, and there's been some contact. So we'll see if we can make it happen. But definitely fall is going to happen. Again, I want to release the trailer to the world in May. So mid-May, expect the trailer to come out.
I'll definitely be watching.
Oh man.
I follow you now, so I'll definitely be watching.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. You gotta tell me what you think. I need the feedback for
Oh
sure.
yeah, I got you.
Thank you, man.
So with all the people that you've spoken to outside of like a Matt Booth that is directly in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
who would you say was without tipping everything, who was
Sure.
your favorite to talk to?
Whew, my favorite to talk to. Okay, one is somebody who I haven't interviewed yet, and it's somebody that I personally look up to. I cannot say.
Okay.
But as far as whom I've gotten so far, my favorite person to talk to would probably be, but there's a few. I enjoy talking to Cedric the Entertainer. I really enjoy talking to him. I enjoy speaking to Guy Torrey, genuine guy. And I really enjoyed Indiana Ortez. She
Oh
lives in,
yes.
yeah. She has that Psycho 7, Nicaragua. And I got a chance to visit her and her family's facility in Condega, and it was amazing to hear her story and to hear her father's story. So that was pretty fascinating. So to have her included in the film, as well as Michael Gianni from Ventura
I was
Cigars.
gonna say, yeah, you also spoke to Michael, so very
Yeah, they're both will be in the film.
flamboyant, beautiful. I love talking to
Yeah,
Michael.
good, great guy, great background, great story. So yeah, to have them both in the film is an honor for sure.
All right. So we're approaching the 20-minute mark here. I know you've got some things you said you might have to bounce off.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this question. So you may not be the biggest of baseball fans, but so I always like to throw a little baseball in. It's always a little bit of Red Sox baseball. And since I have the LA guy on site, what are you doing with Mookie Betts? I mean, how much did you pay for him? I mean, it's ridiculous money. You're going to pay ridiculous money for Mookie Betts to keep him around,
Hey man.
right? I mean,
You gotta.
are you guys? Is LA jazzed up? They must be jazzed up about this.
We need that, man. Like I said, we've been taking some blows out here, man. So, we need some things to look forward to. You know what I'm
Get
saying?
Mookie on the show. I'm sure he smokes a cigar or two.
Okay, I'll look into that for sure.
You should see if you can get Mookie into that video, and then you could just spin it like say, you know.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
So it's going to be fun. You guys, obviously it's a good thing you're not in the same league as we are, because
Right.
that would be really terrible.
Right.
Maybe a World Series coming to LA.
We shall see.
You know,
It's very possible, brother.
you're not,
Very.
So do you have any other, you have basketball players on this, obviously?
Yes, we do have some basketball players on this, and again, a couple more that I'm working on. But yeah, I mean, all walks of life, man. You're gonna be surprised. It's not gonna be, one type of person. You know what I mean? We're definitely making sure that we also represent the women very well, because a lot of women who smoke cigars, man, and they will be highlighted in this film as well. Because there's a lot that people don't know that I'm gonna be shining a light on. So we're gonna shake things up a bit, man, for sure.
Looking forward to it. So we should have a trailer out in May, you said?
Absolutely.
So look here to Stogie Press when we get that trailer to see what we're talking about. And come fall, hopefully it hits the market, and maybe you can make a splash at the next TPE with it.
Hey man, and you know what? There's some talks. So there's some talk. So, the film is just one piece of it. There's going to be a lot of smoke big situations that you're going to see that I'm working on right now. Again, there's so much room to maneuver in this space, man, that I'm surprised that a lot of people haven't come up with certain things that I'm working on. But the film is the first step in that direction. So you're going to hear about Smoke Big. Hopefully with your help, you help me spread the word about it, because it's a cigar film, but it's much bigger. And once you see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So it's a reflection of who I am. There's a lot of hip hop in it. There's a lot of, there's some actors, there's some ball players, there's some, straight up cigar guys. There's a little bit of everything from all walks of life, but we always have that leaf in common. You know what I mean? We'll have a big screening out here in LA. I mean, it's LA. I got to do a premiere, right? I got to do a big red carpet, right?
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You have a place to do the screening?
Of course.
You're not announcing that yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
But it will happen, and I'll make sure you get an invite well enough time, so you might want to take a flight out here, man, because there will be a full screening, and there will be an after party, and there's going to be a lot of other stuff coming up. So stay tuned over the next couple of months. All this info will start to roll out a little bit.
There's going to be a blast. Absolutely.
Oh, it's going to be special, man. I appreciate you and Mike and supporting the film, because I need you guys, man. Really, honestly, I do.
Well, we're going to try to get it out there, and I'm sure there will be others that are going to tap into this too as they see this and they see the press we're doing on you. And I hope the other media picks it up too, because I think it's important that it's not just one voice, that there's many in the media that should be out there on top of this, working this, helping promote it. Do you do any discussion in that about the state of the industry as far as FDA regulations, taxation, all of the? Is there any sections of?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely going to speak about that because they tax the hell out of us out here, so we definitely going to be talking about that for sure.
All right,
we got to speak on it, man.
Absolutely, and I think it's important to highlight. I don't know if you've highlighted things like the CRA and others that are out there on the front lines battling this in Washington and statewide. Thank you for being on. You can stay on if you want. I'm gonna let you stay on if you want to chime in at any point. We're gonna move this segment along. I'm gonna turn it over to Shirtless Mike for a moment. Mike put out an article early this week about flavor notes. So talk a little bit about your story around flavor notes. You've been getting a lot of good views on that. People said great article, nice, informative. Explain to people what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm always trying to come up with, a good cigar 101 topic. And so I always hear just around, social media, people kind of tend to think that, recognizing flavor notes is rocket science, but I mean, it's not. Now, I'm not perfect at it, which I didn't really talk about that in my article, because the whole point of the article was to, just to talk about how you would start to recognize them. But I'm not perfect at it, but I do know the basics, and I do, am able to recognize the flavor notes. So that's why I did that article. And so I went in, I talked about, just about how it's not rocket science. Then I talked about how, if you were to go into your medicine, not your medicine, your spice cabinet, and pulled out different things, then you know you would taste each thing individually. Be able to see what it tastes like individually. You mix stuff together, and and that's kind of how you start to see some of the flavor notes. And then from there, it's all about thinking, okay, what am I getting when I'm smoking a cigar?
So it's funny you should bring that up. So after that article, I decided to go into my spice cabinet. Okay. And this is a platter of different spices, chocolates, raisins, some of which even nut, some of which you may not even recognize. So do me a favor. We're gonna do a little test here with Mike. So start with this one on the side here. Just wet your finger, pick some of that up, and tell me what that taste is.
It's like a salty
Salt, right? Flat out salt.
salt.
All right, go to the next one.
It's a type of pepper.
Not quite pepper. It's more like called cumin.
Cumin. Okay.
Okay, it's that savory note. So we talked about the tongue. That's the part that gets right in the center of the tongue. Right? You feel that running to the center of the tongue? All right. Taste the next one. So your tongue's already getting attacked.
Not sure what that would be.
You don't know that flavor?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can recognize some stuff like when I'm smoking it, but
clove.
Clove.
So you don't get a lot of clove in cigars, but sometimes I've seen people pick that up.
Yeah.
All right. And we don't have any Apple Jacks in this. We don't have any Cheerios. We don't have any
Captain Crunch.
We don't have any Captain Crunch.
Or orange peeler soap.
Well, we do have, so as an example now, to help your palate out. So your palate right now is kind of fired up with salt, cumin. It's got the savory. The middle of that palate's kind of like yeah. So grab some of that right there.
Some of this.
Some of that white powder. All right. So what is that?
That's sugar.
That's flat out sugar. So how's that making the palate feel right now? Is it cleaning it a little bit?
It's cleaning it up a little bit.
All right.
The sweetness it's I'm not really getting all the other stuff as much as I used to.
Right. Eat some chocolate now. So eat a couple of those chocolate nibs.
Oh, I love chocolate chips. So.
Okay, so eat a couple. Those are semi-sweet. Those aren't actually super sweet. So those are semi-sweet chocolates. A lot of times I like to use a dark chocolate if I'm going to cleanse my palate. But that chocolate actually helps to cleanse the palate, believe it or not, along with citrus, water and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm getting definitely a good cleanse from
right. Yeah,
having the chocolate chips.
Things kind of move around now. All right. So I'll play a little. All right. Pick up a couple of those. These are black peppercorns. All right. How many times have you had that in a cigar?
I've had it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, you see that a lot in a cigar.
But actual black peppercorns, though, like if you get that note in a cigar, it doesn't really come to your throat that bad.
That's more like a white pepper. I was trying to take the outer. If you take the outer layer of the peppercorn off, and these aren't really big peppercorns, you get what's called white pepper, and I got a slightly different flavor. So now eat one of those nuts. So
this is the only time I'm gonna let Boss Jimmie tell me to put some nuts in my mouth.
there you go. Put some nuts in your mouth. All right. What do you got there? What kind of that? Really testing your palate here.
What is that? I'm terrible with the names.
All right, that's a pecan.
A pecan.
All right, got that little sweetness. Take some more chocolate, add it to the pecan. Now add a raisin. All right. Switch that around in your mouth. So that raisin, these raisins are these dried raisins, obviously. There's a little bit of, you can get that dried fruit flavor. Talk about running through.
And it started to like overtake like the rest of the stuff that, even though I had multiple things in my mouth.
Right. So now I'm gonna switch it up a little. So I got a couple other little things here. So just stick your finger in that. There's a liquid in there. Just roll it around. Taste that. Okay? And smell that. Just smell the whole thing. What do you smell?
Like vanilla.
It's vanilla, right? A very common component a lot of times.
Yeah.
In cigars. The second one, taste that. Tell me what you think that is.
It's just water, I think.
It's not much there, right? All right. So, don't smell it. Just taste it. Now, this is something I get once in a while.
Oh, it's like a peppermint.
It's a mint or peppermint, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely get that sometimes.
Okay. So, yeah, try that. This is
it's like a lemon.
It's a lemon citrus, right? Should be cleaning your palate up a little bit. Now, let's go back to some savoriness. We get this on a lot of cigars.
That's like a barbecue.
Like a smoky barbecue, right? You get that. Okay. Actually, this one here, believe it or not, it's kind of dried out, unfortunately. Was almond. I had a little almond extract. It kind of evaporated, unfortunately, so it tastes like water now. But almond, I was trying to give you some almond flavor. See what almond tastes like. Sometimes on the aroma, sometimes on the taste. So so these are things I tell people, if you don't know what we're talking about, go in that spice cabinet. You may not have had some of these spices. I mean, I even have here. It takes. Yeah, here's a fun one. Take this one. Well, let's see if I can get this in the view here. So this right here, all right, just dab a little of that. Yeah. Now that's going to be completely different to you. I don't know if you're familiar with that. What is that? It is a rare note. Occasionally I get it. Ginger.
Right? So that's the thing. Like some of the stuff that's the problem with me. Like I can pick up certain things really easy, but then other things it's like, like I would have never guessed unless you said.
Well, if you're not eating it all the time, or if you've never had it, right?
Yeah.
If you've never had cumin, you'll never know what cumin tasted like. But it's got that deep savory note, right? And sometimes your palate just picks that up. You're like, oh man, yes, that's and you're gonna say that's what Jimmie gave me that day, man. That tastes like cumin.
Yeah.
Right. And when you go into that, you're gonna find out that the more you try different spices in the cabinet. Check them out. Try to mix them up, see what you get. Because when you're smoking a cigar, now this is one of the problems we're having right now in the industry, is that there are legislatures, especially in the state governments, that are trying to say that because manufacturers are describing this with different flavor notes, that it's a flavored cigar. It's not. It's not a flavored cigar. They're not adding that to this. But the natural quality of the tobacco, the fermentation and the burning, when you burn that tobacco, is going to start to have these interesting flavor sensations. It's the same thing. You know, they're not hammering the beverage company, right? Here we got to drink a glass of red wine, right? Same thing. Take that red wine. It's got, you know, obviously it's grape juice, right?
Yeah.
But there's a certain berry character to that. There's actually a slight hint of chocolate. Now, that could be because I ate the chocolate, but you're going to say that. But no, there is actually, you can pick up, you know, notes of chocolate. These same types of qualities you could pick up in wines. And yet I don't see the government slamming the beverage industry for this.
Exactly.
All right. So why even talk about that when it comes to a premium cigar?
Exactly. Like I mean, they've literally been doing the same thing in the wine industry for years. It's the same people that put out Cigar Aficionado, put out the wines, what was it, Wine Spectator, something like that. And they do the same thing when reviewing wines. So it is what it is. But it's definitely helped. It definitely helps to you know, to do that, because like you can use that, what we just did, as an analogy. When it, you know, I've heard you describe it many times. That's why I kind of like, you know, I'll take what I learned and I'll put it into my articles and to share the knowledge with other people. So, you know, you can use that as an analogy, but actually sit there and do it with the you know, with all the different spices and all the, you know, and everything. And it really brings it to life. And, you know, just to do that every so often will just kind of help train you to recognize, you know, views.
So Kevin Schweitzer, otherwise known as Kevin Gold PM on Facebook, he brought up the fact that when we talked about mint is, he says, you get mostly from Seiko leaf. Okay. So again, when you're doing primings, Viso, Seiko, Ligero, right? So that Seiko leaf is what's giving you some of the mint, he says. So thank you, Kevin, for that. Larry Adams says, keep your mind out of the gutter, Mike.
And it's the whole point of taking it to the nub. We bust balls.
we take it to the nub. We're trying to take it to the nub. This is gonna slow burning cigar here.
Yep. That's why I waited till we started this show to do my cigar, because otherwise I'll be at this point like right now, and I'll be like numbing it already.
Kevin Parrow from I guess it's now the Cigar Militia. It was the New England Cigar, so now it's called the Cigar Militia. He brought up earlier, I got banned from posting because I shared the live feed. Are you talking about the live feed of the first inaugural Take It to the Nub where Mike wasn't wearing a shirt? Did Facebook get upset with that?
I don't know, but I know Larry did. No shade to you, brother. No shade.
That is what it is. We're going to mix it up, move it back and forth. We had to do it the first inaugural show.
Of course.
You know, introduce why he's called Shirtless Mike. And now we can have him. You'll have to come in with some of your own shirts on.
I will have my team shirtless. I just checked today, and it says they shipped. So my team Shirtless Mike shirt will be here soon.
All right. Very good.
But they don't give, like, Bonfire doesn't give you like a tracking number, so it just says ship. So it's Should be here in a couple days, sometime this week, maybe.
All right, we got TJ Maven on, we got Terry Maven on.
All right, my boy TJ.
All right, Jesse Flores obviously on. Michael Dorman, nice group of people coming in here. Howard Sandler's on. Rick Evers. Rick, man, so I don't know a lot of people know Rick on here, but I had the unfortunate inability not to go to the Dominican last weekend. DBL Cigars, Francisco Almonte and his DBL crowd. He brings a whole bunch of people down to the Dominican every year, and I wasn't able to make it. My work schedule just got completely in the way of it. I had too much to do. I just couldn't take time off from work. But they had such an outstanding time. He puts on a great event. This year, they were supposed to have the potential of opening up the new factory, but it's going to be next year. So next year, we're on this ticket, man. We got to go down to the Dominican and check out the new factory that DBL Cigars is opening. So we'll be checking all of that out. So moving right along, the last part of this segment. So here we are again. So we had the bill in Congress, passed Congress, and it went to the Senate. There was a whole lot of discussion on this across the cigar media, from the largest of cigar aficionado all the way down through Half Wheel, all the way down through all of us talking about that bill. And I would say most people agree that it probably would die in the Senate. But the Senate themselves have their own bill. I think it's got 3174, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Senate bill. And this is an interesting bill because what they're really doing is they are putting a bill forth that is kind of modifying the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act to add more tobacco-related things in it. And a lot of it has to do with vape, cigarettes. But some of the things associated with the cigar industry, and this is a common theme that's running through these bills, is the prohibition against remote retail sales. They want to have that, within 2 years of passing this bill, if it ever got passed, they want to prohibit the sale of tobacco products to they want it only to be face-to-face. They don't want to have any more online sales of tobacco products. So that's one of the reasons why the PCA, the CRA is saying, hey, you got to call your senator and say you don't want this to happen. The second part of this bill that is related to the cigar industry is that flavor. So this is the second common theme that we see is they don't want any flavored products on the market, starting with the vape and the cigarettes, but it filters right on down to the premium cigar world. They don't want flavored products that give an enticement to somebody who is underage, 16, 17, I guess up to 21 now.
Yeah.
All right, to entice them to want to smoke any tobacco product. So that is a big thing. But what's interesting in the Senate bill, they actually made it very clear. They said, I like this. It says the constituent, including a smoke constituent. So a smoke constituent means it goes back to that, what are you tasting? Okay, even if it's not added to it, which is kind of bizarre that they put that, okay? That is characterizing flavor of the tobacco product or tobacco smoke or an herb or a spice, including, and here's the flavors they come up with, okay? So we'll go back on the flavor story. Menthol, mint, strawberry, grape, orange, clove, cinnamon, pineapple. Pineapple. That's a big thing in Hawaii on pizza. They should ban that.
Pineapple does not go on pizza.
They should just ban pineapple pizza. Vanilla, coconut, licorice, cocoa, chocolate, cherry, or coffee. Very specific flavor notes to have here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we all know that many of us will get coffee notes, cocoa notes, cinnamon notes, licorice and mint notes come in.
I just got a mint note when I was, trying the mint.
I mean, but these aren't added, but these are constituents of the smoke, and they would want to ban such cigars. Yeah. And what they're saying is that the manufacturers, starting with the manufacturers and the brand owners, are marketing their cigars as such.
Yeah.
So this is going to be interesting to see how these manufacturers reel back on this if such a bill was passed. I don't think it passes. The next common theme is about raising what they call use fees. So use fees are over and above the taxation that we traditionally get on importing product into the country. Use fees get filtered down to the consumer also, and this is the money that the FDA or any new tobacco commission is going to collect to regulate us. So we pay use fees when we buy this, and that's the funding that they use to regulate us. So we're paying them to regulate us. All right. And those numbers now actually have increased. Fiscal year 2019, and this is across all tobacco products. So this is not premium cigars only, but all tobacco products. The use fees they are going to collect in 2019 was $712 million. And in 2020, they are targeting $812 million. And rest assured that as we progress into the 2020s, if all goes according to the plan, they'll be collecting well over $1 billion in use fees to regulate this business, to inspect this business, to enforce all of these rules. So it's those kinds of reasons that you want to contact your senators right now, because this bill is going in front of the Senate eventually, or maybe gets tabled. But either way, you want to make sure that they don't pass this.
Yeah, I've definitely contacted my senators, our senators, because I've done it several times over the last few years. So.
As have I, and you have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
We have an election coming up in just a short few months. Now's the time to keep reminding your senators, your congressmen, even reminding the president, okay, that this is important to us as a community, a premium cigar community, that we really want to be taken out of this. This is not a one-stop shop when it comes to regulations.
Exactly.
All right. This is completely different product than vape, than cigarettes. Take this out. It's a separate issue. Until they get that picture, and at least the congressional bill gave an open door for doing an exemption, right? I don't see that in this Senate bill. So, again, it's not written. It's written by a bunch of Democratic senators. The congressional bill passed completely right down partisan lines. So I don't see it happening. I don't see it getting a lot of traction anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much been my hope, you know.
So that's it's kind of the news. So, see who else is on. Anybody else doing anything? Let's see. What do we got happening?
I don't see. I don't know why mine's not updating.
Kevin Schweitzer says, menthol will never go away. Too many lobbyists will be fighting that from British tobacco. Been doing it for years. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that works. I just don't see this making a lot of traction yet. There's still a lot of convolution when you get into different product categories, and without separating it, there's going to be a lot of pushback. I would think that eventually there will be some kind of bill that will be addressing this as we go forward. I don't care about menthol. They can eliminate it for all I care. It doesn't bother me. I don't need menthol on my cigar. Although there are people, I know, I have read cigar reviews of people pick up menthol. And maybe that's the mint I pick up, but
yeah,
I don't think.
I mean, I can see how that can be, one person might be thinking it is menthol, the other one thinking it is mint. I personally, if I picked out mint, I never, because I've never smoked cigarettes, most of the, people that smoke menthol cigarettes, like, I just don't think of the mint flavor as menthol, but I could see how one would and could, get that.
All right. So there you go. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed it today. Thank you for joining us. If you get an opportunity to check out what Kareem Fort is doing, please follow him, see how he's progressing along with this new documentary. If you've not seen the demos video that he did years ago, and you're into any hip hop, rap, any of that,
I'll definitely be checking it out for sure.
Check it out. I did watch it. It is a well-produced documentary. He's applying that to what he's doing now in the cigar culture. A lot of great people going to be on that. I'm glad he had Boofy. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing that. Is Boston Jimmie out?
And Shirtless Mike out.
Stogie Press. Peace.
Taking it to the nub, baby.
We're taking it to the nub.
We haven't nubbed this, but we're going to take it to the nub still.
We're going to finish it. All right, everybody. Have a great day. If you like this video and like to see more Stogie Press productions and taking it to the nub shows, please subscribe to our Stogie Press YouTube channel.